Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we are talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. Today we are talking MARTELL HOLT Sidechick doing a messy live after MARTELL HOLT basically does a nostalgic live where he is missing his ex-wife and not acknowledging his side chick in the comments and basically referring to her as an associate. So it looks like Ariane, she is back home in Ohio. She is back home in Dayton with her kids and with, I think visiting her mom and her other relatives and this and that. I didn't understand why she decided to get on live, and it seemed as though there was like an active family, gathering taking place to where everybody was engaging with each other. And then you could still hear Knox in the background crying. And at one point, the side chick was trying to, get him to come to her, whatever, because he was doing something wrong, allegedly. We don't know. But again, it was a short live, and she was essentially trying to give like a backhand apology to Melody Cherie, but didn't say her name exactly. But now all of a sudden has a moment of clarity because MARTELL HOLT has put her on ice again, that, you shouldn't mess with a woman's husband, and that she needs to mature and take ownership and take responsibility, and that when she was in her 20s, she messed up thinking that an older gentleman with money was the way to go, was the way to support herself and her kids. But now she realizes she has to do it on her own. And she says now that, she's over the age of 30, she needs to make better decisions. And now it's up here talking about how men lie and all this other stuff. And it's like, it's funny. She always does this whenever MARTELL HOLT leaves her alone. Whenever MARTELL HOLT dumps her and tells her, hey, like, we need to chill for a while. We are done. This isn't going to work. She always pulls this. That, don't mess with married men, close your legs to married men, and this and that. And so now she's saying that she's embracing being the number one mistress everybody's talking about, and this and that. And then did a light twerk up in the air, you guys. I just can't right now. And no, I did not go to her page to see this. I went to another content creators page. I saw it on both Empress Radio's page and also Who News page. I saw on both of their pages some references to some things. But so there's that. But I just think it's hilarious that now all of a sudden, now that you realize, which we've been telling you for the past couple of years, that you can do all this bragging all you want to, but you didn't steal anybody's husband. You ultimately didn't get him in the end. You lied about being engaged. You lied about your relationship status with MARTELL because MARTELL was never there. And I knew he wasn't there because you wouldn't be on live for hours on end if you did have a man. Let's keep it a buck, you guys. Let's keep it a buck. You are not with a man if you are on live for several hours every single day, and then having screaming children in the background and trying to have your oldest tend to your youngest child and this and that. You were not with MARTELL. Probably you guys were still friends with benefits at that point or what have you. But again, she was trying to sell and elevate what their situation was. And I knew once they had the child together that the thrill was gone for him, that he would still, hook up with her on occasion and this and that. But for him, he doesn't view her as somebody that he wanted to be with long term or somebody he wanted to spend the rest of his life with, because if he did, he would have married her by now. Or at the minimum would be engaged to her. Because if she truly was engaged, like she told the lie a couple weeks ago that she was, she would have been flashing the ring around and wanting to taunt Mel and wanted to throw it in her face that she has the guy. I told you guys when she did that live and wrapped her arms around MARTELL's head and he looked like he was being held hostage and she was all geeked up to go to a concert like it was some 5-star event. I already knew what it was. She's so fascinated by the littlest things, the minimal things that MARTELL did for her, and was so short-sighted in not seeing the big picture. and not seeing the big picture that temporarily she was used because Martell was pissed that Mel had the audacity to leave him, that Mel had the audacity to divorce him, and so he wanted to throw the mistress in her face. He wanted to use the mistress to try to spill tea on not only Melody Cherie, but also the rest of the cast, because he was feeling a certain way about the villain edit that he was getting, but really it wasn't an edit. That's who Martell was really being during this whole situation. And now that it's backfired, like we said it was going to backfire, now that Martell realizes how simple his side chick is, because again, he tried to elevate her. He tried to, set her up for her to do a YouTube and be a podcaster. He tried to dress her up to look like a Stepford wife. He tried to have her look like, she could be the next Mel. But the problem is you cannot dress up people who do not have the drive or the ambition. You cannot recreate an original, you guys. You cannot duplicate the original. And that's on that, you guys. That's on that. And so Martell had to learn the hard way that the side chick is not, and there's a reason that he called her a peasant. And now today calls her basically an associate. How do you say that of the mother of your child, right? How can you refer to the mother of your child as an associate? So it's embarrassing. She got embarrassed publicly on that live, was not acknowledged, and he is still acknowledging his ex-wife. And all it tells me was their union was based off of his frustration in his marriage with Mel. And so she thought because he was pillow talking to her, all of his problems with Mel, that she somehow had an upper hand, when all it was a man who didn't know how to communicate to his wife and chose the worst option to deal with not being able to communicate with his wife. And now he has regrets. Now he's always nostalgic on the holidays. And Mrs. Mel and all of these brands and things that he's trying to push on the show is based off of memories with Mel. And rumor has it, even the book, We Took a Trip to Canada, allegedly, this was back when he was with Mel too. So it's like, I can't, you guys, I cannot. The side chick played herself. She's, of course, not going to acknowledge all of us that told her so, that told her this was going to happen, because she has too much pride. She's trying to play it like she had this moment of clarity, or that her family sat her down when she went on Tasha K and basically said otherwise, that her family was cheering her on and this and that. But now that she realizes that there's no opportunity for her to ever get on this show, whether or not Mel stays on Love and Marriage Huntsville, there's no opportunity for her and Martell to truly ever be married or be engaged or whatever. He's still obviously referencing his ex-wife any chance he can get, or is, quote, inspired by his ex-wife for all of these ventures. He is not thinking about you. He is not featuring you. He still won't acknowledge you. You're not even on his page. He still has old pictures of him and Mel, even, I think, on his Facebook. So he is definitely nostalgic and now feeling the regret and feeling, what it is to truly lose a good woman who rode for you and who was willing to take your cheating behind back after all that you put her through, and you still screwed it all up. For what? And in the end, you have nothing to show for it. You have a child together, but in the end, you have nothing to show for it. So there is that. But let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think of the side chick, doing a backhand apology? But here's the thing. You need to directly address Melody Cherie. And even if she doesn't pick up your phone call or answer your DM, you need to contact her directly and not putting on this show for your followers. You let your followers all this time gas you up and make you think that you were, this bad chick that took somebody's husband and that you guys were going to ride off together in the sunset, and it hasn't happened. and it hasn't happened. And once again, he embarrassed you because you got bamboozled when he told you that him calling you a peasant was for the show, was for the storyline. He lied to you, and now you realize that now when he calls you an associate, that's what he really thinks of you. He doesn't think of you anything more than truly a peasant. And that's on that, you guys. That's on that. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.